How's it going, everyone? It is TrulyMystic, and in today's video, we are going over your hot takes. That's right, this is part 3, I guess, of the famous hot take series. Are we allowed to say that now because the last video did so well? In these types of videos, I react to your submitted hot takes from the previous vid and basically see if I agree with them or not, and kind of throw my 2 cents into the mix. This one should be pretty interesting, so I don't want to hold you any longer. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Starting off with our first hot take. Chapter 3 Season 3 was pretty much the Season X of Chapter 3. The trees changing, the POIs reminded me of rift zones, and Lazy Lagoon coming back in the old volcano made me love Chapter 3. The bloom biome was beautiful, and same with the rave cave. The battle pass and mechanics weren't the best, but the map changes were beautifully placed. And then you go on to say that people might call you a noob, but you don't care. You enjoy what you want to enjoy. And honestly, I think that is an amazing hot take. Chapter 3 Season 3, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated seasons. Or I should really say, underappreciated seasons. It was a very chill, laid back season. You didn't really have a whole lot going on. This was also, fun fact, the last season that Donald Mustard worked on. It was kind of a goodbye for him and passing the storyline and everything along to the next creative director. I really did like Chapter 3 Season 3, and I agree that a lot of the POIs, those rift zones that you talk about, were a nice addition. It felt like every week the map was constantly changing, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, seeing old POIs like the Lagoon, and maybe for some people out there, Coral Castle, was pretty cool. You say that it reminded you of Season X, and I could kind of see that. Season X had a lot of different rift zones, and I mean, so did Chapter 3 Season 3, so they're kind of similar in that aspect. Ballers came back this season. I really enjoyed that part of it, although they did nerf it with the new energy system. I still thought that it was cool to finally see them after so long. And yeah, that whole bloom biome with the reality tree, I believe that's what you're referring to, and all the reality seeds that you could plant. Beautiful biome, beautiful. Every time you were landing on the map, it just looked so cool to just look at that part and see a giant blossoming tree. The battle pass was alright, and Darth Vader was in it, so unfortunately you guys will never be able to get Darth Vader. But other than that, I mean, yeah, Chapter 3 Season 3 was a pretty good season. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst, but I think it was pretty good, and I'm gonna have to say that I agree with this hot take. Let's move on. Coming from Greg, we have Chapter 5 Season 3 was awesome. Great battle pass and unique theme and car system. So I'm starting to see a theme with you guys talking about seasons and chapters, and I want to let you guys know that these hot takes can be literally about anything. They don't have to be about a season or chapter. But I love that we can continue talking about these kind of things. Yeah, Chapter 5 Season 3, I'm gonna have to hide a bit while I say this, but I really did enjoy that season. Alright, everybody can come after me all you want, but Chapter 5 Season 3 was dope. The cars were so much fun, and I will constantly say that Chapter 5 Season 3 was a great change of pace. Epic decided to change the formula for this season and give us something super unique and amazing, and I think it worked. The only problem that I have with Chapter 5 Season 3 was that they didn't really stick to anything that they were going for. There were a lot of nerfs, there were weird decisions, and they listened to different parts of community feedback, which made the season very complicated and controversial. But overall, I think it was a pretty good season, and at the very beginning I had so much fun. The battle pass was a pretty decent battle pass. Megalodon, Bright Bomber finally being in a battle pass. I don't believe she's ever been in one before. The Machinist, I mean, all great skins. Yeah, I had a lot of fun this season, and sometimes I do find myself missing it. It would be cool if maybe sometime we could get like a plane season or some sort of underwater season. These are like crazy ideas, but the whole like theme around vehicles being a major component of the season is just really fascinating to me. And I would love for Epic to continue with that. Anyways, let's move on to the next hot take. From Wave CR, Chapter 5 Season 1 was overrated and underrated. The other seasons were bad, so it's understandable. Alright, so Chapter 5 Season 1 being overrated and underrated. I'm going to actually have to agree with this hot take. Chapter 5 Season 1 is just one of those seasons that you look back to and you're like, damn, that was a very nostalgic season. Like every time I look back to it, and I know a lot of the community feels the same way, you start thinking about things like, man, we got Lego mode, festival mode, rocket racing, the whole collab with The Weeknd and the popular emote, Family Guy finally coming in. Winterfest wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst, and it was honestly one of the more memorable ones. And all in all, Chapter 5 Season 1 is left in a lot of people's hearts with a good amount of positive nostalgia. But it definitely wasn't perfect. There were a lot of weird changes, especially the movement and the new animations. Just things in this chapter / season that a lot of people weren't a fan of. And so that's why I agree that Chapter 5 Season 1 was, in fact, both overrated and underrated. Now, your second part of the hot take being that the other seasons were bad, and that is understandable, I could see that as well. You know, Chapter 5 Season 3, I just said it was one of my personal favorite seasons. To the rest of the community, I'm not really sure. I know a lot of people love it, but there's a lot of people that hated it. And then Chapter 5 Season 2 is probably my least favorite season of the chapter, and I know it is for a lot of other people. And then Chapter 5 Season 4, I feel like could have been better. And yeah, to me, the other seasons were bad, but that is my opinion. I think Chapter 5 Season 1 was the best season out of the chapter. And you guys in the comments can agree or disagree with me. Opinions run free in these videos. Alright, let's move to the fourth hot take from It's Twisty. Chapter 3 Season 4 was overhated and was the best Chapter 3 season, and even on the higher end of good Fortnite seasons in my opinion. The story was kinda messy and the event was awful, but it was the most fun I had playing Fortnite since Chapter 2 Season 8 almost a year prior. Alright, Twisty. Chapter 3 Season 4. I'm letting you know right now, that is probably my least favorite Fortnite season ever. Yeah, I don't like Chapter 3 Season 4. Again, it's probably my least favorite Fortnite season of all time. If you guys never knew that, there you go. It's down there with Chapter 2 Season 6, but even with that season, I have a bit of positive memories. So, I don't know. Now, I guess because I disagree with this so much, this could be classified as a pretty good hot take, but I do disagree with you. Chapter 3 Season 4 was terrible, but that is my opinion, you know? Everybody please remember, that is my opinion. The reason why I didn't like Chapter 3 Season 4 was because of the chrome. It was ugly, it was disgusting, and it had no reason being on the map. It felt so lazy coming from Epic to just slap that wherever they wanted, anywhere on the map, and it's like, no dude. Content that season was a little bit dry. The only thing that I can really remember was the goo gun. That was it. I know we got like season launch stuff with like the chrome splashes or whatever. I can't remember anything else, honestly. The storyline was messy. It was. I didn't understand anything that was happening this season. All the 7 members started dying out of nowhere at the very beginning. Like, what was going on? Like, and I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that Donald Mustard was leaving, and so they were kind of wrapping up the Fortnite storyline and, you know, moving on to Chapter 4 and Chapter 5, rebooting it into what we have now, which really does suck. I think there's also some theories out there that something with Chapter 3 Season 4 was like rushed, or there were more things planned. You guys let me know in the comment section, because I'm pretty sure there are some like discrepancies involved, I think there was way more that was going to happen but ultimately didn't. Some of you are pretty good experts at that, but I ain't no expert with the Fortnite storyline, I could tell you that much. And yeah, I'm glad that you enjoy it. I think that's pretty cool for you. But for me personally, I just really dislike this season. I would actually love to play it again, just to really make sure that I genuinely hate it. Just like a match or two just to get a feel for it. But yeah, I don't know. Everything about it was just not my favorite. And I'm sorry, I went on a whole tangent. You said that it was the most fun you had since Chapter 2 Season 8. That's funny because Chapter 2 Season 8 is also another one of my least favorite seasons. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Although it isn't as bad as like Chapter 2 Season 6 or, obviously Chapter 3 Season 4. Chapter 2 Season 8 did some good things. So, I'm glad you like that. I'm just not a fan. But hey, if you guys didn't know that I didn't like that, now you know. Alright, and our final hot take for the video from J Got Bands. Season X was amazing. Almost weekly map changes, amazing battle pass, fresh weapons, amazing POIs such as Gotham, Pandora, and Moisty Palms. Also amazing live event. Jay, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Season X was an amazing season. You guys could say whatever you want, but Season X was elite. Now, I know that Season X, aka Season 10, is one of the more controversial seasons. The mechs. I know that there are many players that despise this season, but as a casual and somewhat competitive player during this time of Fortnite, I have to say that I very much enjoyed it. It was chaotic, there was something new every week. I was always on the game, and yes, the mechs were annoying, but guess what? I was one of those people that used the mechs. I hated going up against them. There are times where I left the game just running into one, but when they were in my hands, I got a lot of kills. And so yeah, I mean, the Chapter 1 map was going crazy this season. Nobody knew what was going to happen next, and as you said, the live event was amazing. It was, and it gave us one of the saddest ends in video game history for, Chapter 1, and then we moved to Chapter 2, and then we eventually, after a long time, got Chapter 1 again. But yeah, it was just a sad live event, and we had a lot of memories, on that Chapter 1 map. Gotham was sick. I did enjoy the Batman mythics. Apparently, they are in the leaks. We might see them again soon. Pandora was pretty cool. I like the little cell shading and shield that you got there. And Moisty Palms was a bit weird because every time you crouched, you turned into a prop. It was interesting. It was like a fusion between Moisty Mire and Paradise Palms, but it was still cool. Almost anywhere you landed was that kind of wacky business. But yeah, I mean, Season X was pretty amazing. And I know a lot of people might disagree, but I also feel like a lot of people will agree with you. So yeah, that is a really good hot take, and that's all I have to say there. And with that being the last hot take for the video, we are now wrapped up. If you guys have any hot take that you would like me to react to and feature in a future video, please write them down in the comment section down below. And it can be anything. Just make sure that they're juicy, and I will pick by random or the ones that I like the most and give my opinions on them. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Use code TrulyMystic in the item shop if you want to support me there. And I will catch you guys in the next vid. It's TrulyMystic. And until then, peace.